Get started with this lab, select New Website, ASP.NET Empty Website, and enter Lesson 4 for the name of the application. And finally, click the OK button. Click the name of the project and select Add New Item, select Web Form, Template, and enter sessionid.aspx for the name of the new web form. Update the title to Session ID and enter in the text into the div. First put an H1, which is Session ID, then enter your Session ID : and then finally add a literal. The easiest way to do this is to position your cursor where you want the literal, open the toolbox, and double-click literal. This will place the literal where your cursor was located. Now change the name of the literal to Literal Session ID. Right-click the page to select View Code and enter the following code into the page load event. This literal session ID.text is equal to session.sessionID. View the page in the browser, and you can see the session ID is this long, complicated string. Now, add another web form. This one's named SessionObject.aspx. Change the title to Session Object and enter the following code into the div element. An H1 element that says Session Object, your zip code, and then add another literal. Once again, we're going to place our cursor and double-click the literal object on the toolbox. Change the name of the literal to Literal Zip Code. Right-click the page, select View Code, and enter the code. This time we're going to set the session zip code equal to a zip code. Now we're going to retrieve that session object and view it in the text for the literal. So entering this dot literal zip code, which will bring up the literal that we just created, dot text, and because it's not typed, we have to tell it it's going to return a string, that we're actually storing a string in the session object, and then just say the session zip code. Now save the pages and view that page in the browser. And there it is. It read the session object and displayed it in the browser. Now we're going to do the profile object. In order to do that, we need to open the web.config and configure the profile element within the system web element of the web.config file. This is really simple to do using IntelliSense. It guides you along every step of the way. We're going to add a group name of preferences, and within preferences we're going to have a theme and a currency. Now, these will be my personal preferences that are going to be stored in a database. Now I need to add the web form for the profile object. Change the title to Profile Object for this web form. and within the div, enter a profile object, your selected theme, and once again we're going to place a literal by placing our cursor and then double clicking the literal server control that is on the tool box. Change the name of the literal to literal theme. Right click the page to go to the view code. Within the page load event, add a profile.preferences.theme is equal to retro to actually set the theme, and then read the theme by using this.literaltheme.text and setting it equal to profile.preferences.theme. Now note, in this case you don't have to tell it that it's returning a string because profile objects are strongly typed, and whatever type is stored is the type that is going to be retrieved. Now let's save that. And there's our profile object. Now you're probably wondering where that data is being stored. If we do a refresh, you can see there's an app data folder, and inside of it is a SQL Server 2008 Express database. Within that database is a table called Profile. And this is the default location for the profile database. You can actually store this database anywhere you would like. It does not have to be within the app data folder of your application. If we view the table, this is the data, and there's our property value, retro.